A busy week ahead with 2 successive away games. Do you like these weeks because they test you? You don't have much of a turnaround between games.
Yeah, it's good because there's no doubt that you would rather play games than just train, unless there was a need for the training. But when you believe that you're doing well and you're playing well, you want to play games. So we'll look forward to a good tough week.
That's because of a short turnaround. Are you able to look at the Harrogate game, or is it just concentrating on this one on Saturday?
Just concentrating this one on Saturday. We've obviously do a wee bit of organisation, but because of the quick turnaround and we won't have a lot of time to work. But our full focus will be on the next game.
And is it harder to rest and prepare between away games in quick succession with the travelling involved as well? And is this where a bit of squad rotation becomes involved?
Yeah, a little bit. If we believe that we can keep the performance of the team moving forward, we're adding energy to the group, because there's no doubt science will tell you that the intensity can't carry on in such a short period of time. So we believe that there's something that can come in to help us to get a result, and we would do that, because you've got to trust your squad. That's what they're here to do. They're here to play. And
you played well in your travels this season, but are yet to win away from home in the league. Is it important to get that win, or is it just important to keep the unbeaten games going as well?
Both, but you want to try and win every game that you're playing in, and of course we want to try and pick up points away from home, which is really important. But the main thing is what your points tally is, and if that's competitive at the right end of the league, you've got to be happy with that. But if we can pick up some away results to back up the home form, then that would be a big positive. And
you're playing Carlisle, who have just lost their manager Chris Beach. Does that make it harder to plan tactically for this weekend?
Yeah, because the manager's gone and his plan now is no longer there. So yeah, it's difficult, because either a new manager will come in, or they may change something, or they might carry on with what they were doing. So yeah, it is difficult to see any consistency in what they're going to do, because obviously the manager's gone.
And we see a lot of managers leave, the players putting a good performance in the next game. So you have to be wary of a fast start, don't you, as well, on Saturday?
Yeah, for some reason that happens, but you've got to go there with your own mentality and make sure that you give them something to deal with. We can't be worrying about them. We can only get on with what we do, and if we go and deliver on what we're good at, we will give them problems.
And you've got a good record against Carlisle. You've won the last 4 against them. Do you believe in that theory of having teams you always do well against and bogey teams, or does history not matter one jot?
No, it don't matter one jot. Different teams, different managers, different time of the year. It doesn't matter. It's a game in isolation. It's obviously it's a place that I personally enjoy. I like going to play up there, which is always lovely, and it's a nice place to go. So no, we'll look forward to it.
And just looking at Elliot Nevitt, seeing he hasn't played league football before this season, played 4 divisions below, how impressive has that been? It's not an easy thing to do, is it, to go from down there up until play league football?
No, it isn't. No, and it's great credit to Elliot for coming and putting in the effort that he's had to put in. He's had to suffer a lot to try and catch up with the intensity and the fitness, and I believe he's now comfortable in what we do now, physically. He's still got a lot of improvement to do, but we'll keep working with that. We'll keep his standards high and keep him moving in the right direction. But he's a good lad, and it's good to see that Tranmere are doing what we used to do years ago and going to non-league and local leagues. And if we believed there was somebody that we could give an opportunity to grow and get a chance of having a football league career, Tranmere's always done that. So it's good that we've got another one.
And how important is it for a player for himself to think, yeah, I'm good enough to play in this league? They need to think of that kind of quickly to the end progress?
He's got to come. He's got to believe. He's got to back himself that he can make an impact, and we've got to give him the encouragement to be able to go and do that. And then he's got to get the opportunity. And then when he gets the opportunity, he's got to take it. You've got to take that opportunity, and then you've got to keep it. So it will never change, and it's the same for everybody.
And you mentioned about getting non-league players. How big a great talent pool is non-league?
Huge. There's a lot of talent in there that has, for one reason or another, maybe left a big football club and is now playing regular first-team football, which the only way you're going to get better if you're at their kind of age is by playing first-team football. So some of them some players find themselves getting to that level, gaining first team football, and then all of a sudden the improvement comes from regular games against men, open age. So no, there's a lot of talent in there that you can find it, but everybody's looking in there, so it's, you're not on your own. But no, I'm always pleased that when you see talent that comes back into it after maybe recovering from being released from a big club or comes back up the way. It's always good to see.
And we know how tough non-league is. How good an education is it for a young player starting out?
Well, it's important that you get first team football. That's an important thing, as quickly as possible, because that's the place where you can learn and you can move on and learn from the last game and go and try and improve in the next. So it's important that they play men's football, if you like, as quickly as possible.
And any team news ahead of this weekend? No,
we're okay, and we're clear of suspensions as well. And Lee O'Connor's come back from international duty, so he'll come back into the group as well. He played 290 minutes, so that'll be good for his fitness levels as well. So we should be fine.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Micky, it was a great win on Friday, and which left a real feel-good vibe with supporters that would have gone into the weekend. And I'm sure you enjoyed entertaining your guests over the weekend with a victory under your belt as well. But now you've had more time to reflect on it, what impressed you most about Tranmere's performance on Friday?
Just the intensity and the way that we kept going. The way we kept going at what we know that we have to be good at. The running and the pressing and the passing, and look for opportunities to overload and overlap, and our defending was good. We just kind of hit most areas with high numbers, but no, the challenge is to find the consistency of that now and improve on that now. So we'll just continue to do that, but we honestly haven't given. There's been no big pats in the back or anything like that. We just come in on the Monday and away we went again, and keep pushing it forward again.
We've seen some good performances at Prenton Park, and as I say, which have pleased the crowd. And I know you've always talked about keeping the nail away from home, making sure you're picking something up away from home, and then get the wins at Prenton Park. But approaching these two away games, do you need to look at them any different from how you're playing now? Or is it just a case of saying to the players more of the same?
No, I think if you look into the detail, we've played against the teams that are currently at the top end of the league. Played them at their place. So we played Port Vale, I believe, at the third. We've played Forest Green, who are top, and we've played Swindon, who I think are second. So it's no disgrace to go to their places and come away with something and play the way that we did in all the 3 games, because at the minute, they're the 3 better teams in the division, the league table will tell you. So it hasn't really been about that. We have played well away from home. We just haven't managed to get the 3 points. But we won't play any differently at Carlisle, and we play at home. We'll go and attack the game and go and try and win the game. If we need to defend, we need to defend. If we need to dig in, we will. And then if we're in the ascendancy, then you need to punish the away team. It's how we'll always try and play. We will always attack. That's what we'll try and do again on Saturday.
We were speaking to Sam Foley before. He was telling us that he, at 34, nearly 35, Carl exclusively revealed, he feels fitter than he ever has done in his entire career, and a better footballer in his head as well from he was when he was younger. So has football changed, do you think, in now that players like him, for example, can be such an important major asset at what people would perceive as the latter part of their careers?
Yeah, I think we all have learned over the last sort of 15, 20 years more about, I'm not just talking about football, I'm talking about people in general, about diet, about rest and recovery, about how to look after yourself. We have the ability to be able to do that better now. I mean, we have more knowledge on that. So it's not just footballers, but footballers seeing the evidence of people learning what is good for them and what is not, and what will give you a longer career and what won't. And Sam is, and the same as Sam, Clarkey, Joe, Feeney, they're all great pros. They've all looked after themselves. They look after themselves away from the pitch, away from the training ground and on the training ground. They train very hard and attack everything in the right way. And then you get the rewards because you get an extended career now. So yeah, there's many qualities that you can still develop at Sam's age because you learn what you need to do and what's important. We call it smart work. There's smart work and there's work that's maybe not so smart. So what the players learn as they get older is what runs are important, what are not, what you have to really get right and what you might be able to not, and they get better at it. So Sam's a great credit to his profession and the way he looks after himself like all the other players.
Any sort of promotion campaign always relies a little bit on making sure that you're not hampered by injuries. And I think apart from Scotty, you've got a clean bill of health at the moment, and which is great to see. And I'm guessing with the results going the right way, players are chomping at the bit, really. Is that taking the intensity up in training? People don't want to be injured, do they?
No, and we have 11v11s practice games, and the intensity and the quality from both teams is excellent. Both teams are going at it in the right way. So we have a good, healthy place at the minute. It's important that we make them understand that I can only play 11, but if needed, I trust them all and we'll put them in and play them. We're coming up into a busy period now, all the way right up until Christmas. So there's no doubt that we'll have to dip into our squad. That's why we try and keep them all fit and ready to go. So we'll probably have to dip into that at some stage, and I trust and believe that the boys will be ready to come in and help us to keep trying to move forward.
Just finally from me, obviously great atmosphere again at Prenton Park on Friday. Your time out of Prenton Park, or in between your two spells as managers, was kind of all around the pandemic. So you've not had those sort of Tranmere away games where there's been no supporters there at all. But of course, you will have had that in Scotland. So another big crowd expected to be at Carlisle and also Harrogate on Tuesday. What was it like, first off, not having any crowds there when you were north of the border, and what kind of a big role can these supporters play when you're on the road trying to pick up points?
Yeah, I found it quite strange without the crowds. The game missed a lot of intensity because of the crowds. The crowds, no doubt, lift the intensity, create the atmosphere, and get the game going at various times, with how they react to certain things. So you missed all that. Crowd at Tranmere are huge to how we do, because they support us in the right way at the right times. They're a very educated crowd and they know when we need them, and they rise for us and they get us going. Or because they're so educated, they know when we need them to get the atmosphere going, to encourage and to support the players in the right way. When a player makes a good tackle or a good run or a good pass, they give him a big pat in the back by acknowledging it, either by a cheer or a clap or a roar. So that's important, because everybody likes a well done, and when Tranmere are doing well, the fans hand out the well dones and cheer them on. So it's important that they have that, because it's such a big part of what we do. But they've always done that. They stand by the team and they support the team. They do their jobs really well.